Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your support. You newbies, if you would, and I hope that you'll find that this recipe is good enough for you to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit notifications so that you get all of our recipes as they post. What do you do with your sourdough starter discard? Sometimes you throw it out, sometimes you use it. I'm going to be making donuts with mine tonight. And hang out with me until the end. I have a special treat for our toppings for our donuts. It's for the season. You'll want to see this. For these quick baked donuts, you're going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 3/4 cups of sugar. You'll need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. You're going to need a 1/4 cup of butter, and we're going to melt this. 1 egg. You will need some vanilla flavoring and 3/4 cups of milk, and you need your sourdough starter. You'll need a 1/2 cup of this, and again, this is your discard. I've preheated my oven to 350, and I have taken my donut pans and I have sprayed these lightly with a cooking spray. If you don't have a donut pan, you can roll these out and use you can use your cookie cutter and then use a smaller cutter for the middle. So that's what you can do if you don't have a donut pan. All right, time to make the donuts. You will get your butter and melt it. I just threw it in the microwave. And get your flour. And to your flour, you're going to add your baking powder and your salt. And just whisk this together. Then we'll put our sugar in with the mixture. And we're going to stir this together. Then you'll set this aside. Now we'll mix our wet ingredients. We need our milk, our egg, our butter. Make sure I get all of that out of there. And now our sourdough. Our sourdough, I don't know if you name yours, but ours is named Izzy. And we have had her for about 18 months now, maybe close to 2 years. But we have enjoyed working with the sourdough. So now we will add our sourdough. Woo! And this is my discard, okay? I haven't fed her today. We named our sourdough Izzy because is he going to work or not? I'll mix all of our wet ingredients together and my vanilla flavoring. Well, I don't cook anything without putting vanilla. I don't bake anything without putting vanilla in it. We are then going to put our dry ingredients in with our wet ingredients. And I'll do this a little at a time. I am going to get rid of this whisk, though. We're going to start with something else that's not going to get caught up in it. I'm going to add the rest of our wet ingredients and continue to stir it only until it's incorporated. You don't want to overmix this dough. I had to use my whisk just a little to make sure that all that flour got broke up. Dang, that's so good. That was easy, wasn't it? Our donut batter is mixed up. Now we're going to start filling our trays. I will be using a piping bag for mine. You can use a spoon if you would like, but for me it's easier and neater to use the piping bag, so that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to get this dough in my bag, and then I'll bring you back because you don't need to see me on the struggle bus. I've got my batter in our bag and just snip the end, and then we can start filling. These are ready to go in the oven. Again, that's preheated at 350 for 15 to 17 minutes. You won't want to overcook these. I've got the donuts out. I'm going to turn these out on a rack and let them cool. For our glaze, you know you got to have a glaze on these donuts. You'll need 1 cup of confectionery sugar, 2 to 2.5 tablespoons of milk, and a dash of vanilla flavoring. and you'll mix this together. You don't want to pour all of your milk in at one time. We will add that sparingly depending on how thick that we want this glaze. Our glaze is all stirred up, and this is the consistency that I'm going for. I do like the glaze for the donuts to be slightly thinner than I would if I was putting it on bread or a cake. Pour your glaze into a bowl or a pan that's wide enough and has a little bit of a well to it so that you can dip these donuts in it. I thought that I would finish these donuts with a little bit of Halloween spirit. So, as you can see, these donuts might bite you before you bite them. These donuts, whether you put the fangs in them or you don't, they are delicious. So I'm going to get one that doesn't have fangs because I really want to bite it. I don't want it to bite me. Look at that cakey donut. And that sourdough smell, you guys know what it is. That is delicious. It's crunchy on the bottom, soft as it can be. This is a delightful bite. Guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this recipe. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit notifications so that you get all of our recipes as they post. And until next time, stir the pot.